I was still abused at that point, So, and for many, many more years after, even after I started the company, I was still being abused. Up until one day, I thought, you know what? I had a mental breakdown. Was admitted to a mental institution.
Welcome to Unlock with Tando Maumela, a podcast where positivity and open mindedness are embraced. We are set to discuss various topics aiming to build, challenge mindsets and societal norms, question mediocrity, and uplift spirits. If anything, expect a mind blowing podcast hosted by your very own sister coach, aka Sheila Tando Kamaumela, the Kingdom Diva. Danko.
Welcome to Unlock with Tando Gamaumera. It's another episode. Another dynamic woman is in the house, and I would not waste time trying to introduce her. She'll introduce herself. First, please like, share, subscribe. Guys, why ninja mar? Mona. Yo, subscribe, like, share. Yeah, make me viral. Yeah? Ha! Because namhlanje ngiphethe ipoza yakhona ke. I think my interest in her comes with the fact that she's a very well achieved woman. That for me makes me tick. There's nothing that excites me like a woman, married or not, that achieves the best out of life for themselves. It's got nothing to do with the next person, but for themselves, to build a legacy for their children. That for me sticks out. I think you know what I'm about as Otando Gamaumera. I'm about building legacy. I'm about business. I'm about education. I do not want to entertain things that will not be building in any manner. So here on Unlock with Tando Gamaumela, we are basically open-minded. We question mediocrity. We question societal norms. We question things that people are uncomfortable to talk about. So here we are having a gorgeous woman. Gorgeous! Yes!
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for agreeing to come to Unlock with Tando. Hanuli Motomong, you would have just said, who's this, with so many following that you've got? And that's simply because it comes with today's celebrity status quo. It comes with sometimes branding. And in your case, I know you did not think you were doing it for branding. You were sharing information to heal people. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much. I'd like to greet everyone. So, Kejwalani. But I love Sis Chwali.
Yes.
I go by the brand. Chwali, I'm N. I'm a daughter. I'm a mom. I'm a sister. Kirachadi, that's all.
Yeah.
I'm an aunt. I think I'm a kind human. I don't necessarily like to identify myself with what I do. I think I'm more of a daughter, a mother, a rachadi, an aunt, more than anything. I'm a woman, and I'm happy to be alive in this season and in these times that we're living in. Yeah. I'm a businesswoman, I'm a board member, and so on and so on, but I'm more of a daughter than anything.
What business do you do as well?
Yo. Let's say yo because it's so difficult to explain. I'm an engineer. I'm a qualified engineer. I'm doing my PhD now in engineering, but I did do masters in finance. I'm always studying. Did construction as well. So I run engineering consultancy.
Okay.
Meaning I employ men and women who are engineers, project managers. I am into construction, so highly specialized type of construction in oil and gas and heavy industry. I'm into properties.
Hey.
I own a guest house, which is recently gotten boutique hotel status. I trade in fuel, oil and gas. Dabbling into mining now. I do a couple of things.
Guys. Women doing it for themselves. Usually, I'd say congratulations in advance before you become doctor.
Thank you so much.
Because I know you're going to achieve it. And I'm saying this because forever in your messages, you are forever sharing that there's no limitations to what a person can be. And it's my belief completely. And, you are not just a blabbing person. You are also pushing to achieve these things. You're saying I'm forever studying, and that for me is a big deal. I know a lot of people still don't believe that education can equate to what you can do. Yes, we may agree, but I also say it also brings credibility.
Yeah.
So, congrats.
Thanks so much. Receive it.
We are getting to what you are invited for. Oswali, you're a single parent, and your story is touching at the same time it's educating. Please take us through your story.
Yeah, I'll summarize it.
Yeah, please.
So, I'm a mom to 3 kids, and I found out in the process of divorce that I'm pregnant. So my youngest is turning 3. My eldest is 21, and the second one is about 15. Fast forward, I got married young. I finished matric early, so went to do my undergrad in engineering. Got married to my best friend's cousin.
Okay.
So we met. Back then, he was much older. We met back then. I used to visit my best friend, so we met there. And we dated for a short while after I finished my degree. And by 22, I was married.
Yo.
So it was a very fast decision to be married. But back then, it made sense.
It made sense, yeah.
I always speak openly about my age. So I'm 45.
Okay.
I turned
Still very
45
young.
this year. Very young.
Still very young.
I always say, 22 and a half on each leg. I got married. By year 3, you can see that this is not necessarily good. But that thing, of be resilient and make it work. My marriage was very troubled in that it was somebody who was incredibly emotionally abusive. But some of these words, you don't know about them until many, many years later.
When you were young.
Yeah. So I found out 4 years ago, but narcissism, I was like, what is even that? He does this, he does not hit me necessarily, but he'll do the most thoughtless, what you wear, how you speak, who you talk to, and so on and so on, dehumanizing, and leave you to your own means. Whether you're ill, whether the kids are ill, it's just somebody who's just not there. Careless. And marrying someone who wants to be a boy, whereas they're an adult, and you have to carry on raising the kids, and they're still boying, cheating, making kids outside marriage, and so on and so on. And I think for me, it does not matter who you are, where you come from. We do hide as women, a lot of things that happens in our households, right?
Yeah.
So I worked for big oil majors in South Africa.
Yep.
So by 25, I was already at director level. So I was still abused at that point, So, and for many, many more years after, even after I started the company, I was still being abused. Up until one day, I thought, you know what? I had a mental breakdown. Was admitted to a mental institution.
You see why?
So it's true. It happens. And I speak
And do you
about it
think
openly.
people are lying when they're saying this person is actually a medical doctor? Mona picking up papers on the street.
Yeah. So I woke up one day, I didn't want to wake up. So I went to see my GP, like, I'm exhausted. And she said, what is this exhaustion that you're talking about? Let me refer you to a psychologist. And in fact, psychologist, I went to see her. Within 15 minutes, he said, no, we are admitting you. That's it. Like, no, I still have business, I still have kids. Like, no, we are admitting you. And that's when they started unpacking the narcissist I was married to, and the issues of financial abuse, emotional abuse, cheating, and so on and so on. And then that's when I made a decision to say, I'm done here. I'm done. And because it's not physical, nobody believes that you're being abused.
Narcissism apparently is like that.
So it's like, you bath, is that what you're wearing? Do you think you're pretty? Ukole. And I remember this one time I was miscarrying. I always speak about that. And the guy just jumped over me. He left me there bleeding and went away on holiday with a girlfriend. So they'll make you feel, you lose your sense of identity of who you are. And I think for me, it made me live a life that is unbalanced.
Okay.
And this is what I mean. I focused so hard on studies, on work. So I was super high achiever. But this monster, of not the monster person, but the complexity and the monster of a marriage, I didn't want to deal with that. I threw myself
So
into
you
work.
shut it down, you blocked it by working and studying while kids are growing. So the emotional attachment to kids, what happened then between yourself and them?
I struggled a bit
Okay.
with my, especially the 21-year-old. In fact, we had this, one thing about separating from, I'm not pro divorce or pro separation. I believe in love. I believe in marriage. Yeah. I think for me is the conversation that I had with my daughter as we were going through counseling with the kids, especially the eldest one, that, Mama, the kind of mother that my brother is receiving now and is receiving being, receiving is like you're gone. My brother is receiving and feeling and being fully embracing the mother that we did not know, that I necessarily did not get to feel that. You're always panicky, you're always just working. I admire your character of your strength of work, your work ethic. However, I criticize you for staying for so long.
Sure.
You really made me look at life in a very different way. And not that I'm blaming you, but I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. And you are happier now. You're more available now. We can talk more now. So yeah, it did impact. Especially the eldest one did feel it.
Yes.
The second one, it's polarization. What do I mean by that? My ex spent a lot more time with her and with monetary things, to buy love and to segregate and to separate, to create polarity between the eldest and the 15-year-old. So it's now that we're actively working a relationship with my kids as a unit. Luckily, the youngest is young. He's only turning 3, so yeah.
Mafizolo doesn't know anything.
I doesn't know anything, that one. Yeah.
So I think my interest, Haholo, has been your navigation through single parenting, especially after divorce, and your decision. From looking as a person looking outside, you made the best decision, right? However, it comes with its own challenges, being a mom who is working and who cannot compensate for the fatherly figure in the children's life. How has it been for you and your children?
At one stage, I knew that divorce is the right thing, but it hit me so hard. And I think the reality is how it hit my children.
Yeah.
And my divorce was not fun. Try divorce a narcissist. You get to divorce settlement number 107, you change everything. You try divorce a narcissist. It'll be your mother is a witch, your mother is this, turning the kids against me, his family against me. It was such a turmoil. But it's not the act of the divorce itself. It's I call it activities. It's the activities that surrounds the divorce process itself, It's engineer is the mechanisms that the person will use to destroy you. I think had I been a weak person, I would have committed suicide. That one I don't doubt.
Thank God for keeping you sane.
I don't doubt, and I think for me, the relationship that I have with God,
Amen,
my strong relationship with God and how I was raised to know that, when you have nothing left, the only thing that takes you back to you are, so I'm very emotional, is your lineage is the one that keeps you going. So how was the process and how am I navigating single parenting? It was incredibly hard in the beginning.
Mamela, I cried throughout your message when you were talking about your 21-year-old just wanting a message, congratulatory message from their dad.
Yeah.
Can one be so petty, Mar?
Yes. Yeah, it was very, very hard. And you know, some people think they do mob justice type of divorce process. So mob justice, you'll recruit your mother, his mother, his siblings, his extended. So even people that know you will be your destroyers because they are, the psychologists, they call it flying monkeys. They'll be recruited to destroy you. It was difficult in the beginning. Financially, it was not there. Emotionally, guiding them, it was not there. But that is diminished in comparison to the active destroying he was doing. So I had to fight the destroying and still provide and still be. I don't know how to be a man. I can only be a mother. I don't know how to be a father. So yeah, my kids do miss their dad.
They do. And I don't know, it's my prayer that, you know, because Mudimu Kiana, that can change a person's heart. I'm hoping that a change of heart, you know, let alone the embarrassment, because this has caused a lot of embarrassment wherever he is. He is embarrassed to even come out, you know, for a second for just one of the children gay, you know.
God works in mysterious ways. So where's my son right now? My son is visiting the grandmother, my ex-mother-in-law. So I have chosen and actively choosing for my children to still have relations with their family. Their uncles, it's their family.
Yes, it's their family.
And I cannot and wish not to destroy that. Irrespective of how cruel that family remains, my children, it's their lineage, it's their children. I think so I do reach out. I reached out to the in-laws to say, guys, the son is growing. He's a boy. He needs he needs some lineage and spending time with him. So yeah, he's gone.
How is he? What is he saying when he's there? Of course,
I mean, it's turning 3, so he said, "Hi, Mama, Mommy coming today. Mommy coming today. Mommy come and pick me today." So he's at that stage. But it also makes it incredibly difficult because they're still quite hostile. So he does not necessarily have a phone that I can call him and say, "Hi, boy, how are you?"
Yeah.
I'll have to call the mother-in-law. Sometimes she'll pick up my call or she'll be just snacks. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. It's only a week or 3 days or 5 days. He'll come back.
Yeah, she'll get there.
And over time, he'll be in a position to carry his own phone so that I can call him.
No, but also with no Gogo, we'll get there. We know the truth as women. That's another thing, is that even the family Gaufela, they know the truth. It's not like they don't. So with time, they'll be fine.
Yeah. I did put up something that, you know, it takes one to raise one. It takes one narcissist to raise one.
And your family, how are they during this entire time, from your divorce to Muferifo Ogofel? Especially your parents, they're elderly.
I think my mom struggled, and he struggled because I married my father. And I speak about that openly as well.
Okay.
My father had similar character traits to my ex.
Okay.
Financial abuse, cheating, making children, same. Yeah? And I thank God that he has granted my dad extended life. So he's gone past the 70, he's in bonus stage. And him being now in bonus stage, it has given us and him an opportunity as his children, irrespective of whether it's my mother's children or children from wherever, to be a unit. So now that he's ailing, and the last 5 years, we have actively worked on building the relationship with him. And he's come back home, right? Yeah. So he left when I was young. He's come back home about 10 years ago or so. And my mother is taking care of him. We are working that relationship. So I thank God for that. Yeah. So my mother struggled by the fact that what I went through is what you're going through. But the only thing that I'm grateful for your dad for, and the Mocheles where I'm born, my dad's side of the family, is that they were actively supporting me. So I was raised by my dad's brother.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hey, Bana, how many are you?
3.
Okay.
So when my parents split and there were issues, blah, 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 my dad's brother and the wife. I stayed in Kwakwa. I grew up in Kwakwa, went to good schools, took me to varsity. So the Mkhalas, irrespective of what was happening between my mom and dad, they played a very, very present role in our lives. I'm very close to my dad's side of the family. I grew up there.
Yeah.
So my dad's brother, and they're both late.
They did not stand le abuta now.
They did not stand
they didn't
bona,
stand
le
with the brother
manyala, le anything.
with all these funny things that he was doing.
Yes, yes.
Esh, I wish
Yeah.
our in-laws or rather the counterpart of the family can understand that they're not playing, if they're not playing a role in the children's lives, it can change the human being, that encompasses the wholeness of a human being. But hey, we thank God for the Mkheles for doing the work that they're doing. And I said before we started the shoot, Hore, you exude so much humility within you, and that takes me back to how you were grounded. Makes sense now that your mom has taken back someone that left many years ago. Wow. So this is why you stayed in your marriage, because you were taught to
Hold it down.
stick it out. Hold it down.
Hold it down. Yeah, it's that. And I believe in the institution of marriage.
And you love hard.
And I love hard.
Yeah, you love
and
hard.
I absolutely loved my ex. I cried for years for that man. I cried. To such an extent that you cheat, you'll have a child with someone. I'm like, maybe I'll raise the child. Maybe I'll raise the child. Maybe I'll stay. Yeah. And I did. And I did stay. My youngest is younger than the children years outside. So, and I stayed. So I love hard, wholeheartedly, fully. Built a house for mother-in-law, did the things, she has a car. Like, I love wholeheartedly, fully, financially, emotionally, physically. I pray for you. I'm there, fully. And that's why I stayed. And I don't regret staying.
Yes.
Though I think it is, sometimes we come here like, I'm in engineering, I'm working. And we don't necessarily have a true calling in the sense of spirituality or leadership or that. You can lead about, but there's something that is missing that you're thinking, Mara, I don't know yet what is it that I'm here for. And these conversations, my inbox is flooded, I have emails, I'm making so many friends. It's exactly that. It's exactly that 1 or 2 or 20 people who my life story can impact them in one way or another. I'm grateful for that. That's my calling.
Hey, and it is making a huge difference. Never doubt that. Because so many people are still sitting in those marriages that are so difficult to endure, because there's a difference between enduring and enjoying something. And yes, there are seasons in marriage, guys. We can't ever say it's always a bed of roses. There's seasons where you need to endure, but it depends on what it is that you are enduring. In her case, honestly speaking, for a 45-year-old ma'am, Modimo file matla. I'll put it that way. And I'm hoping that your daughter gets to experience Bupilo in a different manner. And I'm saying this because I know from my own personal experience that I've almost not wanted to get married because of my mom going through a similar situation. But hey, that's a story for another day in my podcast somewhere. So for you, Oswald, what would you say to someone that is sitting there in a rut of linyalo, and they are trying their best to keep up with what's going on against what the reality of things in terms of them and their children?
Trauma it makes one physically ill. So there's trauma about ushapilwe, but there's trauma of emotional, where you get stress, get depression, you get physically ill, the ulcer, you get sick. You absorb so much that you feel physically ill. Your confidence goes. You cannot concentrate. You cannot perform at work. It affects so many parts of your life, and sometimes we come like, why don't you leave him? Some of especially the financial dependency, when you depend on someone financially, but also that some of the relationship is a trauma bond, that you say, I'm leaving next week, I'm done with this guy. And then suddenly it does something buys you flowers or whatever, and you stay. And then it's 6 months later, and he does something. And so my ex was like that. So you keep, like I know I must go, and then you don't eventually go. I think for me, it's research, research, because boiled frog syndrome, you sit in that uncomfortable space, an uncomfortable marriage, and over time you start making excuses for the person. Mara sipo wan rata. Yo, mara sipo ngake se beke last week. Yo, mara
And the
sipo
100 roses.
abatle ke kenye weave sipo o nyaka di singles, so ke understand the situation, and you start making excuses. So do research, because I think for me, for the longest time, I knew that my marriage was not healthy, but I did not realize how bad it was until you speak to someone about it.
Yeah.
Until you start verbalizing it, until you're like, no man, this is not normal. So research, empower yourself. I always say, even if even if you are selling tomatoes, even if, empower yourself to live.
I always say self-empowerment is self-care.
Self-empowerment is
self-care.
self-care. Empower yourself to live. If you wish to stay, empower yourself to be resiliently staying. So this is what I mean. Go for counseling. Know that, okay, he's going to do this, going to be a trigger. Know how to manage the triggers. Know how to navigate. When he arrives at home, you're sitting, you feel like you must start doing something because suddenly he's going to be angry about something. Go for counseling so that you navigate your staying. So I'm not saying leave or stay.
Yeah,
research
obviously
either way.
that decision eventually would come from you, because psychologists, not even coaches, tell you what to do with your life.
And there are lots and lots of psychological services in South Africa. People say, I don't have medical aid. There are free psychological services, there's church services, there's us giving a lot of time to speak. There's seminars, there's that, there's books, there's YouTube podcasts. There's a lot of stuff.
There's
There's us, we are here. So research, and so that when you stay, you know that this is you resiliently staying, and if you go, you wish to leave and the marriage, you can do that.
Yeah, freely so.
Do something.
Do something.
The bottom line is do something.
Amen. Amen to that. Amen. In total agreement. What have you taught your daughter? She's 21 now. In a short space of time, she'll be 22, the year that the age that you got married at. What have you taught her?
When marriage ends, that I remember the day when I was packing my ex's stuff, clothes in suitcases and stuff, got ordered that he's leaving the house. It was a bittersweet day. My kids were not around. It was just me packing stuff, like, I'm done. You're going. And when I reflect back at what I did wrong and what I'm imparting to my daughter, one, take your time.
Yeah.
Take your time. I'm not saying take time to know him. Wait, not self. Take your own time to yourself. Get to know you.
Who you are.
What
you want.
What you want. Yeah. Because when you've taken enough time to become fully self-aware of who you are, you can attract at the right league. I'm not saying every time I say it, a dead in my leg, people come for me. No. League in terms of...
Don't come for us.
You don't come for us. League in terms of spiritual attunement, discernment, leadership, support. Yeah. Then I want, sorry, Sipo. I always use Sipo as an example. I know Sipo how we praise. I know Sipo is studying further. I'm studying further. What Sipo wants, we agree on the number of children we're going to have, where we stay, the value system, Sipo and so on and so on. So when you know yourself... Spirituality
because
as well.
It's key.
It plays a very big part.
We are spiritual beings, guys. Everything is Yarona is encompassed around that.
Yeah.
And our giftings are different. The aura always tells you what it is that you need to engage in and accept.
So when you are younger, you don't necessarily have a fully matured spirit of discernment.
Amen.
You drink in the first cup you drink, and men are very smart. They say you're cute, Suddenly they married you, they take you. They say, this one I'm just taking to keep at home, ne? And I'm still going to live my life and whatever. This one is just going to be the mother of my children. They've got a good heart and so on and so on. And as much as people don't believe it, I have a strong belief that narcissism is also a spiritual
It is a spirit.
Meaning they know, because narcissists attract the most vulnerable people, the most kind, and they
So they
suck
know
the
they're
living.
kind.
Yes, they suck the living out of them.
They won't come for me.
So what I'm
Kidding,
teaching my
guys.
daughter now, really is take your time for yourself, and should you wish to get married, do seek for a kind man. Also, be financially independent. I think I would be ruined if I was not. I had not invested so much in my education and myself to bounce back.
Amen.
I would have. My ex used to say, "You'll come and kneel in front of me before I give you anything. If he wants to give money for groceries, you come and kneel in front of me." So he put money on the table and take it back, put it in his back, in his pocket for groceries or
In
for
this day and
anything.
age?
Yeah, in this day and age. So I always say to my kids, be financially secure, take your time, relax. The world is not. People say life is so short. Yeah, you can marry at 45. Can be married at 40. You can start having your kids later. You can choose not to have kids. Whatever goes. What you were taught, Tina, is not necessarily the situation.
Yeah,
or
that's
how
why I
it's
get we
applying now.
question societal norms, because what was back then is not what it is today, where linyalo, it's such a big thing to achieve compared to everything else. So basically now in this era, we are saying, let's get educated, let's get things the other way around. Yes, linyalo can come, even last,
Yeah.
if Mudimu, doesn't. So your daughter is the 15-year-old. How is the 15-year-old doing?
Yeah, it was a roller coaster ride
Yeah.
with my 15-year-old. Not fun roller coaster. It was rough. I think not I think. My ex used to even take the 15-year-old to girlfriends. So he'll cheat with someone full time and take the 15-year-old with. He'll tell how I hate her, how. So my relationship with the 15-year-old were quite strained for the longest time. My daughter hated me. And what made me survive the 3 years is counseling, and that's what narcissists do.
Yeah.
Just wait there. When she falls, catch her. And wait, when she falls, catch her.
So because she's a child, she did not know that actually Papa is separating me from my mom. And when over and above everything that you're dealing with, you are struggling also with the whole separation anxiety that's caused between you and your daughter and everything else that he does.
So
Guys, that was cruel.
poisoned my daughter to the core. He'd take her, block the phone, cancel my number. I wouldn't get through to her, and took her to these new charismatic churches. Mama wa lawyer, unkhono wa lawyer. My daughter's convinced my mother ikimoloi. So we went through a very, very difficult time. Somebody once said to me, a narcissist who turns to Christianity, or their level of Christianity, it doesn't soften the heart.
Okay.
So what I mean is that they use the faith to punish you. Whether it's Muslim, whether it's Christian, they'll use the faith to punish you.
Okay, so this thing is similar to when you believe for otla fodiswa ke kereke itseng tla o fodisa. Your belief works in the sense that it does what you want it to do.
Yeah, so in my case it'll be, I'm so cleansed, I'm so holy, I'm now a man of God. You are an evil woman. I can turn water into ice. Your faith is very, very baseless. Now suddenly I'm building a church. So it went from, I don't know who God is, to I'm superstar. Me and Jesus. And they'll use that.
So pillar next door. I am.
We're working on it with my 15-year-old.
Yeah.
We're in a very good space. She's back at home from boarding school. She was in boarding, so this year she's back home full time.
Yeah.
We are doing counseling, we are hiking, we're exercising, we're talking. We are
Talking. I think more than anything, that's the part you are talking. That's what's important.
I'm stable. So I always say to my kids, I'm the government. Meaning you can go anywhere, you'll find me here. And I think for me, that's how my relationship with my kids work. That they can say whatever, you'll find the truth for yourself. And once you found the truth, Yes, she has come back to me saying, Mama, now I know the truth. My dad even left that one that I know and went to the other one, even left that one into the other one. I don't know how to deal with it. I'm like, deal with it, and then I'll still be here.
And Ngwana has to connect with all these ladies. It's such a spiritual turmoil nje, all over. With Shem, the boy, the youngest, he won't know these things. He won't experience these things unless, I think, at an older age when he starts asking questions. Are you going to deal with it when you get there? Or what have you thought about it?
I'm writing a book. I'd been writing a
Danko,
book
I
for
said
some
us to get
time.
there.
I'd been writing a book for some time. I also have it's just memoir, snippets of my life. And wherever we go, we leave a digital footprint, right? So
Yeah.
this is one of those. So with my son, he will get to Google, he'll get to find, he'll get to understand. I do not think that I'll sit him one day and say, hey, Ngwanaka, your dad this or did that. Unless if he's asking a
unnecessary.
question, say, Mama, what about this part? I'm like, this part is this part. No? And my ex would never be a parent. He's a man.
Why do you say that?
So this is, there's a different from uba parent, Mutswadi,
Yeah.
and to be a father.
Yeah.
Just. And in Sesotho we say there's Ntati. Ntati is just Ntati. And there's Ntati. Ntati is a depth of rooting. So, for example, I do know that he won't necessarily, my son will be 5 and he'll sit him down and start teaching him values. That basis is not there. He would not necessarily say, let's go hiking. You are now 14, let's talk
Let me
man to
teach you how
man.
to bike.
Let me teach you how to do this. So he, even now, he's taking the boy, but just to pass him to his mother. So he's very uncomfortable with the concept of parenting.
Perhaps he's also uncomfortable with himself, don't you think?
Yeah, I think
I've heard
he comes
there's
from that instability where there was instability of mother and father, violence in the house and so on and so on, abuse, words, verbal and so on. So he comes from that background. And my uncomfortable discussions with him in the past was like, you need to seek counseling.
Yeah.
You need to seek counseling to be a better parent because you've never been parented.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Maybe also, the passing to the mom or the responsibilities or not wanting to be present in this is that he's also uncomfortable with himself in the sense that to live in the body sometimes is to be absent with the soul in the sense that you are there living, but that you are actually doing, when you reflect back, you can see you are wrong. But for some reason, you want to hold on to this thing that says you are powerful. Things that don't make sense. I'm hoping that one day he really takes up that opportunity to go for counseling. Yes, you're not his wife anymore, and you would not be able to journey with him in that. Whoever it is that's there to journey with him, I'm praying that he does the right thing for himself. He sounds like a person that needs total help.
Yeah. There's this concept of sitting with your pain or sitting with your happiness or sitting with yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that is the part that is missing. I think the next thing where he is now, it's on this sudden spiritual attunement. Suddenly he's now man of God, but he'll still be cruel, he'll still be mean. We'll have power cut off, when I'm in financial trouble and come home to the children and say, Lona, so like he'll come and spite them in the face. And the graduation event of my daughter. So he still remains incredibly cruel. In fact, he's even being more worse now than when we were married. He's horrible now. But it would be, I'm praying, I'm a man of God of that. And he'll be somewhere in Uganda, I'm doing charity organization, I'm busy. But the basis in terms of being a parent, it will be failing dismally. So for my son, the youngest, I don't want to lie. I'm in a space where I'm like, thank you, God. I'm grateful that the son that I'd prayed for so many years, that in my old age, you gave me this boy when my ex used to sweat me.
Why?
I was not giving him a son. I'm not giving
Son
him a
is
son.
it's a hoena.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the family and he was cheating and saying, yeah, I'm looking for a boy, and he literally impregnated mistress.
Was he getting those boys outside?
No. So God gave me this son as I was in this process of divorce. We were already separate. And it was my daughter's 18th birthday. I speak about this openly. And you know that kinky nyana go so feng? Not the serious one, like, you regret. And then,
not knowing anything else outside of him, I don't blame you.
That, and I'd been, it was like 2 years separation, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, I'm not dating, I'm busy trying to rebuild my kids. And then, kabanzaman. And then, the outcome was this. So I'm grateful to God that it happened when it happened, in that spiritually, stable in most aspects. You cannot be stable in all aspects, but in most aspects, stable. And that my son, just imagine had my son been 15 now, wrong. So I'm glad that it happened the way it did, that he will have base with my son, but the core of who the man is going to be. I'll have influence on that because he'll be at home, but also in a calmer environment. And that, yes, he wouldn't miss someone teaching him how to, we are all girls, and so on and so on. But I think over time, the calm environment will really help him out.
And you know what? He'll be such a gentle soul being around women. That it's what he knows. He'll be in touch with his feminine side more, in the sense that he would know. But
and my friends, my colleagues, the industry I work in is mostly men, and a whole lot of my extended family, friends, they've come to the party to say, Jolani, we want to step in to raise this boy. So somebody will bring him a bicycle and teach him how to ride. Somebody will do. So I'm grateful for that. That the family, extended family, friends, they have come.
You are surrounded, eh?
I'm surrounded.
You are surrounded. I think that's one of the things that right now, as we are having a conversation, is that it gives me comfort to know that you are surrounded. Because, sometimes you get strong to a point that you are no longer strong anymore, and we are forever being told, Mbogoto. Someone said, I want to be an egg.
I don't want to be Mbogoto anymore.
Yeah. And you are done.
I'm done.
You are in a soft girl era.
I'm in my soft girl era. And as women, we underestimate how being a leader draws from a person. So being a leader in a home, in a house, financial leader, emotional leader, discipline leader. No, I think for me, I'm in the space of where, I'll still be independent, but I want to be led. Somebody who's strong enough to lead the family in prayer, in discussions, in planning. Lead. Come lead. Because otherwise, what else I'm getting from these conversations? So from any relations whatsoever. So I'm in that space.
Are you open to laugh?
Of course, yes. Limpopo way, ne?
Limpopo way.
Limpopo can't
production ki Limpopo, please.
Production Limpopo.
Limpopo, so I can vouch for them.
Limpopo, but I don't want to be a second wife. Like, I can't be that.
But about the main.
The main, yeah. I'm
open to blended families?
I'm 45. I have 3 kids. I don't think I'll find someone who does not have kids. And I'm open to a blended family.
And what has your discussion been with the 2 girls? I know the other day they were teasing you about, Mommy, you must now go out. And, the trying of outfits, and it was beautiful to watch. But on a serious note for them, what has the discussion been?
On a serious note, my kids, especially the 15-year-old, saying, Mama, you're so kind, you're such a nice human being. Mama, why not dating? Like, Mama, please marry someone. I'm like, duh. I can't just go to the shelf and say, hi, I want to marry this person. Asi Mengo, right? And the eldest one is at the space of, Mama, find someone who deserves you.
Who deserves you.
You deserve so much better. And I don't wish to grow old. Because I always say to her, why are you not moving to an apartment or something? So she's doing, she was graduating at that time. She's studying further now.
Congratulations. We flooded your inboxes, Your post. We flooded it. It was beautiful to watch. After we let going to cry. I love those moments. Do you have a lot of those where you encourage your kids and then go to your private space and cry?
Yeah.
You have a lot of those.
In fact, not necessarily my kids, a whole lot of other people, my employees, my colleagues, my parents, my eldest family. So I'm the strong one.
Yeah.
So I'll come be strong, ne?
Yeah. Listen.
And then go to the toilet or to the car and melt and then come back stronger.
Okay.
So I do have those melting moments. I schedule time to cry.
Because
and
it's
I
important.
do go to cry.
It's important.
So they're excited. They do want me to date again. They do encourage me to go on dates. I'm absolutely lazy. I don't like mediocrity. So I go to dates and feel like, oh. I was asking someone to give me a selection criteria. Like, do you go to dates with everyone, or how do you choose to go on dates?
I think that's one of the things that a lot of women who have just passed the divorce phase and etc. struggling with. How do you do this thing again? Is it because you have been in this long-term relationship, whatever it is, that you feel starting again would be so tedious?
It's that, and I'll be point
based on
blank.
Conversations,
Yeah.
maybe.
I'll be point blank. I think I'm a completer finisher, and I
Okay.
think I'm a driven person. I want results,
Yeah.
and I think for me, and Master Croces was saying to me recently, Joe, when you go on date, you're not gonna marry the guy. You're not gonna marry the guy on first date. Just go on date. You're not gonna marry the guy. And I think for me, the minute I see red flags, where are the kids? No, the kids are with my wife, my ex-wife, and I don't get to see them. My ex-wife, I'm like that, like out. So I think, but also it's personally, I hold myself to high standards.
Yeah.
Now I'm a high value woman.
Yeah.
Like that one, high value in terms of all aspects. So I don't have time to play with dlala dlala. Like I cannot leave dlala dlala because my ex was dlala dlaring and then go and
And
dlala
then go
dlala
to
again.
another one.
Like no, I rather not. I rather kishap kili one. So it's that. Also, I'm uncomfortable to. You go tell me about this day, like I don't just have time or the appetite to do that.
When you found your match, you'll have the appetite, you'll see.
Okay.
That one has not come. Limpopo, please, I hope you're watching.
Limpopo.
Limpopo, don't disappoint me. Please do. I want to be a sister in love. No, Oswald, I think you have, until we get the book, launched, early ready, because I believe we are going to learn a lot in that book, because some of the things I'm sure that you're going to reveal in there is going to help people, apart from what you post. I believe a book is always sacred, because then, you take your time to journal what it is that your heart, bears. You've bared your soul to us as a country. I'll put it that way. So going forward, what are your plans?
Yeah, growing my hairline back. On a lighter note. It starts there. Yeah, growing my hairline back. No,
It'll come back.
Yeah, it's that. And I invested a lot more, and I'm still going for counseling. I mean, now even doing trauma counseling. The reason for that is that I also have childhood traumas. So meaning my mother had to go and work because my dad was that. And then I was not raised in a home with a mother and father and normality. I was raised, yes, in home with a my dad's older brother and wife, but not necessarily my biological parents in one house. So my plans is to continue the journey of that and getting deeper, the healing, and getting deeper into that context. Is continue to build a legacy for my children, to make sure my children are okay, to play.
And to play. I suppose we forget that part as people, that there's a time for everything. And would you say your childhood, or rather there are parts of your life that have been taken away from you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the reason why I say that when is that because of my parents splitting, I had to grow up very quickly. So I had to grow up
Yeah,
very
the
quickly.
instability.
Black texting very quickly. Bought my house, my mom a house. Had to make my mom is fine. My dad is fine. No, got married quickly.
Are you the eldest?
No, I'm the youngest.
But why? What? Okay, the
don't know,
other, yeah, but are girls.
I don't know.
Girls are different breeds. Okay.
So I've had to man up very quickly. I have very supportive siblings, my brother, my stepsister, and my sister, and like very, very supportive.
Why is it
system.
It's not even about being a girl. I think at times it's that being a chosen one in your lineage to do what you had to do for your family.
I believe that. I believe for both my mom's side and my dad's side of the family, one of my purpose in life is to make sure that I break those generational curses.
Amen.
And we just buried my uncle recently. It's make sure that I'm available financially, emotionally. I'm there, you know. And also taking a whole lot of kids to school, go high, making sure
They're doing well.
over time. So for me, it's that. So the future, play. I love traveling a lot. I travel a great deal. So it's continue to explore the world.
Of course.
I do solo travel. I'm brave like that. To live, to encourage. The biggest chunk of my work had been career, but now I'm squeezing in value adding, and healing and sharing moments in that I'll have an hour with someone for tea. Ujwang, how's it going? I'll have TikTok friend. I'll have somebody I meet on Instagram. It's to make time for others, so that I'm wounded to heal others.
Yeah.
You know, there's a quote I like, Yarumi. It says, "The wound is the place where the light enters." The wound is at that very specific place where the light enters, and for me, it's that part that I'm excited about.
That you're excited about.
That I'm continuing to be excited about.
Someone once said, whatever that bothers you most of the time is what you are called to actually correct. So I suppose that's the journey that you are headed into. Bona, this video will be on the internet for years. And what is it? What is the message that you've had? What is dropped into your spirit? And I know, Hore, you always have your devotion time, Limudimu. You always get, that moment to discuss how. What has God been saying to you in this season? And it's a message that you need to be giving to all of us as South Africans.
Yeah, I think for me, for some reason, the last couple of weeks, I've been dealing a lot with grief.
Okay.
Grief that lost a friend, lost this, lost that, and that sense of loss, man. Of you have everything, but I do grieve for my marriage. I do grieve for interested in saying. The biggest message for me is the message of hope. I think I did post about this. When Mary and Mary got to Jesus Christ tomb, they found religion an angel came and removed that stone. So what's in my spirit right now is that whatever situation that you are faced with, you have to believe that God will show up. And he shows up decisively. The Bible tells us that that angel came with an earthquake. He didn't come silent. Yalenda, boom, pa, pa, pa. It rolled the stone. So for me, it's financial burden, marriage burden, spiritual burden. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know. That yearning, that you don't know, man, believe that the stone will be moved, and we removed decisively. And a new birth, rebirth. So I'm completely excited about rebirth, about restoring, about new opportunities. So for me, I know it's winter now, it's middle of the year, it's like it's a difficult year, finances, interest rates, blah, 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 government. Believe that rebirth, this is the beginning.
Your portion is there.
Your portion
the
is
new
there.
Government. Wow. Thank you so much, Oswali. I think for me, you must know hore a lot of people draw strength from your messages, from your life's journey. People draw a lot of strength, and I it is my hope, or rather my prayer, that as you remove layers like a snake, removes layers at some point, each time a new you comes, the rebirth season, ifitla, we get to know more of who you are, not as a person, but of who God is through your story. Not as a person, but of who God is in your story. And Hanze Ulim, when you shed off the skin because I believe each time you are sharing a certain part of your life, it's not really for attention, like some people would believe. It is merely to educate and also to heal and also to give hope to those who are really feeling or waiting, I'm down and out. I don't think I'll ever get out of this rut. Umoto. And sengathi uJehova ngazibonakalisa nawe empilweni yakho in all the things that you so desire. You've been favored because you have been doing so well. But I know there's never a limit to someone who's ambitious. So all the best.
Thank you so much.
Ra leboga even for your time here.
Thank you so much.
There you have it. Sis Joali was in the house, and I am super, super excited, guys, that when you are watching this, I'm hoping that you're going to share with the one that that needs it. Someone out there has to be a gift, or rather, a gift that keeps on giving. So yes, please share, like, subscribe. Look for us in the different social media platforms. Usually, people about to like
Go Instagram,
Yeah.
Juali_MN.
yeah.
TikTok, Juali_MN.
Yeah, like him to say TikTok.
And I'm working with somebody that's setting up my full website.
Yeah.
So jualani.com. We'll be launching soon with more data, business advice, spirituality,
Yeah.
motherhood. Yonke into.
Yonke into.
Jualani.com is loading, but everywhere else it's Juali_MN.
Sis Joali for you. All the best, me.
Thank you, Manes. Thank you so much.
Uncle.